Hello, my name is Eva, and this is my heat presentation for my Earth and Physical Science class at Brandman University. According to the textbook, Conceptual Physical Science by Heuer and Sakouki, heat is defined as the thermal energy that is transferred from one substance to another due to a temperature difference between the two substances. Heat is a form of energy, and when it comes into contact with matter, it causes the atoms and molecules to move around. As they bump into each other, heat is transferred through matter. The movement of these particles determine whether the substance is a solid, liquid, or a gas. Heat moves in waves, and it changes the matter as it moves and touches things. The warmer an object is, the faster the particles are moving around. The three ways that heat moves is radiation, conduction, and convection. Radiation is where heat moves as energy waves or electromagnetic waves. An example of radiation would be the sun. Conduction is when heat from a burner starts the molecules moving that are in contact with the burner. That's transferred to the handle, which is transferred to your hand when you touch it, causing it to feel hot. Convection happens within a substance that flows like water or air that is heated through the gravity. This is apparent in a convection oven. Heat is thermal energy in transit because once heat is transferred to an object, it is no longer heat, but becomes thermal energy. Thermal energy is all the potential and kinetic energy of particles in a substance as they are moving around. The more molecules, the more movement there is, which means a higher temperature and a higher amount of thermal energy. Thermal energy moves from higher temperatures to lower temperatures until there is a happy medium. Thermal energy is the total of the kinetic energy within a system, and it is dependent upon the temperature and the movement of the molecules. For example, a smaller sample like a cup of coffee that is boiling would have less thermal energy than a bathtub at a lower temperature. If the coffee were placed next to the bathtub, it would freeze first because there is less thermal energy. When matter changes form from a solid to a liquid or a liquid to a gas, thermal energy is added or it is taken away, even though the temperature stays the same. Temperature is how hot or cold something is. We experience temperature on a daily basis. When we go outside, we determine whether we wear a jacket or not based on how warm or cool it is. Temperature is a measure of the average heat or thermal energy of the particles in a substance. It doesn't depend on the number of particles or the size. For example, a large pot and a small cup of boiling water will have the same temperature. A thermometer measures temperature by expansion or contraction of the colored alcohol inside of it. UCDavis.edu defines temperature as the average kinetic energy within a given object. Heat depends on speed, the type, and the number of particles, but temperature doesn't. Temperature is not energy. It measures it, while heat is energy. The three ways that temperature is measured is Kelvin, which is an absolute temperature scale with a melting point of 273 Kelvin and a boiling point of water of 373 Kelvin. Fahrenheit and Celsius. Fahrenheit has a boiling point of 212 and a melting point of 32. Celsius has a boiling point of 100 and a melting point of 0. The United States is the only industrialized country that still uses the Fahrenheit, along with Bahamas, Belize, Cayman Islands, Palau, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. All other countries use the Celsius scale. It is the most widely used scale in the world, and most scientific applications use the Celsius scale. In 1970 is when all the countries switched over. And this concludes my presentation on my heat presentation, and these are my references.